play to your clock. They'll have to fight when you want to fight.
Yes, and again, I understand now why the Lolita and the Terizla were paired up. That might have taken the CC over the top. I mean, not the crowd control. You know what I mean? Like, penalty zone into Numenor Blast, that could have been the picture-perfect engagement for FCAP, but they couldn't make it happen.
And again, very hard to layer that together, to chain it together in the perfect timing when your opponent was just running over you, right? Like a bulldozer. So we'll have to wait and see if that's going to happen here in game number 3.
Let me present an alternative. Maybe you don't ban out the Loyi. You ban out the overloading front line.
There it
so you take out one of them, you take out the Edith, and then you steal away the Tigreal. Somewhere down the line, maybe the Tigreal was also a secondary reason why the front line was just overloaded, why it was too much for FCAP.
That's right. So that's one way to do it. They decide to go that route. Definitely, there's a high loss ban out. Blue side win rate and red side win rate of both of these teams are exactly almost the same, like almost neck and neck. I feel like wasn't 87 earlier, yeah, and also for Falcons AB Brand, the red side win rate is like 60 something. So wow, I've never seen two teams neck and neck in stats. The chart shows it. The Phoveus, not banned out, makes an appearance in game number 3.
That's right, and that does open up the Roger and the Zask. I was going to say Z-Hask is a worthy first pick, but Falcons AB Brand have other thoughts now. Do they pick up the Terizla here? Is this where the Terizla comes in?
It does feel like.
Do they go Terizla Moskov?
Early on.
Or do they save the Moskov like they did in game 1?
Could be.
Possible.
I feel like the Terizla, you want to pick it up here, save for the chance of it getting banned out, right? In the next phase of the draft.
And they're not really rushing for mid because they also have a Faramis. I won't call it a pocket Faramis. It's just a Faramis that the world over knows that few doesn't play very well. Yeah.
It's like a, what do you call that? An open secret.
Yeah. It's also a great combo with the Phoveus. Because the Phoveus is going to put himself in danger, for sure. Save him.
Moskov early on!
Okay, sir.
But the Julian, I don't know if we expected this, but the Julian makes an appearance here.
It's also a first half FCAP pick. And all the more the Faramis is looking juicy. Because look at those three.
Yeah, we were talking about like making your tank line beefier. You know what? The Faramis is a great option for that. Playing up close and personal alongside the Phoveus and the Julian as well.
But Rockar, what does Ogwyn play in this case? He still has a Grok, still has a Minotaur, who, by the way, had its first defeat last night. It was sitting at 100% win rate and then took the L last night.
I guess to answer that, it will have to depend on like what Fnatic Onyx going to do. They're going to have to be a bit more reactive in that road.
Whoa!
Alpha here. Huh.
It's been a while, sir.
Is that confirmed jungle alpha or possible XP?
Nah.
Possible XP?
No. 9 out of 10 times in this kind of situation, you're going to play it in the jungle.
Jungle, right?
You know, I'll up it for you. 19 out of 20 times.
19 out of 20 times.
I haven't heard of XP Alpha. XP Alpha sounds like the kind of thing you would do in a ranked game when you have nothing left.
Right. So they kind of just forwent. What's the past tense of forego? Forwent?
Forgone.
Forgone. There you go.
Yeah.
Forgone the flex of a Roger here. Just showing all the cards flat on the table.
There you go. The Tigreal ban, as you should have. I told y'all, Brusco is crazy. And no! Stop the jutsus!
Oh my god.
No jutsus will be done within the arena. Thank you.
Which side is that? Is that on the...
That's I think that's where the bees are at.
The bees, yeah, the bees side. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though.
He's an FCAP fan.
Apparently, that guy's an FCAP.
Even when
all right, good to know. I wonder what the rest of the franchise's side selection is.
Let's see.
We'll have to wait and see maybe next week. But right now, Vex on the band is great.
Who's left? Again, the Faramis. The Faramis is still open. I wonder if Why Not and Hayes aren't thinking, hey, look, a fellow world collector.
Wow. All right.
You're also a world collector, aren't you?
Of course, yeah.
All right, you like pressing that button, don't you?
We've been... you know what? Moonton's been generous over the years.
Hey, I'll tell you, I think even without our MPL talent status, we would still be world collectors between you and me.
Oh, yeah. With just the raw amount of years, right? Like, that we've been... You know what? Thank you so much, Moontun. Yeah, world collectors are very... Is it rare to find world collectors right now?
It's a very small fraction of the player base.
Right.
We're
what
proud
percent,
members.
Right?
We'll find out.
Anyway, we'll find that out. Oh, wait, this is a bigger... Wow, that's a way to flex it.
What a flex. All right, check it out. Matilda last ban for Falcons AP Bren. They may be thinking, of something, because whenever you pick up an alpha, one of the main weaknesses is you have no out. So when you spear of alpha in, there's very little reason for you to get pulled out. And now look at this, Coach Why Not and Bruce, you're talking about it. Hey, why are they banned out of Matilda? What's up? Did they know something? What's going on? All right, they got a pick here, and they pick up the Ruby, which confirmed is going to be either an XP Ruby or a Roam Ruby.
Yes, there's no other way.
There's no world where that goes into Keller's hands now.
Yeah, for sure. So something that at least FCAP will be very familiar with is how to play against that. We've seen that.
Jawhead's open!
Jawhead! Oh my goodness! All right.
Didn't see that come in for the majority of games, at least starting this week.
That's
how far my memory goes back. Jawhead's always been banned second phase.
That's right.
So now you have an Aurora that is. I like the Aurora, given how dive heavy Fnatic Onyx draft is so far. You can drop the frigid breath on yourself.
And again, you're going to skirmish a lot. I think you already expected, you know what, this trio is going to go to my lane so many times.
Right.
I have to be ready for that multi-hero skirmish.
Yep.
So let's see.
So far, Fnatic Onyx PH still looking for a roamer. At least a definitive roamer. We don't know where this Ruby's going.
Okay, that's a Kufra.
There it is, confirmed. XP lane Ruby, Jungle Alpha, Gold Roger, and then the Koof. What's the Koof trying to stop? What?
It's a Jungle Roger
Wait,
XP
what?
Alpha. They swapped it out.
What?
They swapped it out, man.
Oh, this is the 1 out of 20 times then?
This is exactly what we're talking about, right? The 1 out of 20.
Is he trying to stop? Is he trying to... I've never seen this. The last time my brain clocks out whenever I see an Alpha and a Phoveus lane against each other.
Yeah,
that's a ranked game right there.
That's right. Man, maybe that's the point. Maybe
Confirmed.
they're trying to throw off each other on the draft here, and I love that what they did here. Maybe that's the only way to be the world champ. Maybe that's what FNOP is thinking.
Doctor Strange stuff right here. Astral Plane drafting.
We'll have to find out if it does work out here with Naisu and Ingan.
Woo! Falcons AP Bren on the verge of ending the streak and getting the revenge onto Fnatic Onyx. But the Super Family holding on to their momentum and wanting to solidify their top 1 seed. Welcome to the English Desk. My name is Ingan. Together with me is Naisu. Naisu, what do you think about that crazy draft?
You know, I have to agree with the panel here. 1 out of 20 times you're going to see this. Even in my brain. And he's running a Revitalize too. Kirk not only took the Alpha in the XP lane, but he's also like, yeah, I'm going to take Revitalize.
Wait, what's the emblem?
He's got Brave Smite, he's got Tenacity, he's got Vitality. So this is like a...
Okay.
This is a tanky Alpha.
I think he wants to go head-to-head with the sustainability of the Phoveus. Plus, in terms of the damage, he's not going to lack, because again, the passive of a Kirk Alpha has true damage, Beta, so it's okay. But again, I talked to Keller a while ago during the break. We saw each other at the comfort room. His Ruby only lost once.
Yeah.
It was a game 2 lost up against Echo. Team Liquid Philippines.
And, you know, that's why he's going to be confident enough in picking it up.
Yeah.
And this time around, you know, King Kong only the one picking up the Warcry emblem. This time we've seen Fnatic take 3 Warcries the past 2 games. And this is, I was going to say a little more standard, but it's like the picks are still unique.
Yeah.
And we're looking at one of the major ones right now and how this is going to play a part because, oh, there's the charge up. Brusco not going to go and follow up with his landing here. But I would say most people that have been watching competitive MLBB would just by default think Alpha, yeah, would go into the jungle. But this could end up being a great switch. Now on the other side, it's the same thing, man. We have seen Phoveus rise in the ranks. He's also running the Vengeance, Brave Smite as well. So that might be a problem that Fnatic has to overcome because anytime the Phoveus is there, that's what he does. He just gets in the face, he's dunking on people, and he seems like he doesn't die.
Yeah, we've seen it yesterday actually with Ryota. Beautiful performance with the Phoveus, but right now Falcons AP Brent.
Oh! Brusco jumps in with a flicker too, gonna land the rage, and they get all frozen under the turtle. King Kong will grab it. The fight's still gonna break out. Kirk's still up here. They toss him up. Flap TZ goes back in with the Infernal Pursuit. Super Prince will pick up a kill. And now possibly It's only Flap that goes down. It's a trade, the 1-for-1, but the objective goes to Fnatic.
An XP for an XP. Fnatic has the advantage with the turtle, but the scary part here is for Fnatic Onic. When it reaches the mid to the late game and Brusco starts to initiate, if Few manages to catch the Frigid Glacier, manages to catch 2 or 3, they could easily burst down Fnatic's lineup, especially when Super Marco's activated. So for Fnatic Onic right now, they really have to utilize their early game power spike, especially Kelra has the Ruby. Because for me, if it reaches the mid to the late game, it's really going to be hard against Super Marco with the Moskov. Plus the Frigid Glacier is such a momentum killer for me right now.
Yeah, it literally, stops them in their tracks.
Yeah.
Something that Fnatic Onic has to play around. They have to be able to go into that. And I think, again, looking at the lineup, they have it. They have all that available. And this is, once again, Kirk probably opting for this tankier Alpha. The setup here, we'll see if, okay, he just spears of Alpha's out on the defense. Does FCAP still actually want to follow up? Unstoppable Force, they're going to toss him up into the air. I don't think you can heal up of that. As Kirk falls, 3 members of FCAP will pick up the kill. And on the cross side of the map, they're going to go for Super Marco. Tries to go in with Spear Destruction, gets thrown in the wall with a rage.
Wow.
He'll go off and survive it all. Super Marco, he's bulletproof for a reason.
If you need a reminder why Marco is bulletproof, that's the perfect example. 1 Lycan Pounce could actually kill him, but the pushback coming in from that second skill was all he needed to ensure safety. Plus Few, of course. Few was there.
Yeah, Few was there, but good play. I mean, the pressure was there from Fnatic Onic, and they get an objective out of it.
Yeah.
Now the trade could possibly be the turtle here. FCAP starts it up. Brusco charging on up, going to be able to not find Few. Doesn't land the connection he's looking for. Turtle for the taking, and it's going to be secured by Kyle TZ. So again, trading of objectives around the map.
Yeah, that's a perfect reason or example why Phoveus has been picked up a lot of times. Fnatic Onic actually had the upper hand when it comes to that turtle take. But when Flap TZ started casting the Infernal Pursuit, it was basically game over because Fnatic Onic has to walk away. The presence of Few makes it harder also because the Frigid Glacier is still there. So they really need to solve the Flap TZ problem first before they try and solve the Super Marco problem. Because so far, Kelra's been dominating Super Marco, but when it comes to 3v3 clashes, if Flap TZ's there, it looks like Fnatic Onic gets out of place almost all the time.
And that's what I'm wondering, like, if you're Fnatic Onic, you're trying to, solve this Flap TZ issue. It's mainly just playing around that window where once the Vengeance is popped and he doesn't have it anymore, and then, dealing with some of the sustainability that it gets, which obviously is going to be solved also with their item path builds that they end up taking. Conceal going to be used, but okay, Oakwood jumps in with a flicker. Won't be able to find that toss-up that he was looking for, so great response also from Fnatic Onic.
Fast hands from King Kong, I think it's just pure instincts, knowing that Ogwin has the Joy. Needs to be extra careful, because there's no other targets so far that he wants more than King Kong. And now, the game always starting relatively slow, 2-1 kill scoreboard, as both of these teams try to get control over the mid lane.
You mentioned it earlier, when you got a chance to talk to Kelra, and I feel like he is one of those players that he plays the Ruby in the gold lane a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like, he's more effective than I would say statistically that, you see gold laners pick up the Ruby. I think when you look at the lineup too, the fact that Kelra's pretty tanky himself, he's going to be able to sustain up. He's pushing right now, obviously down the bottom side, and he's all about sustain. But then you throw in a Kufra in there and then the tanky Alpha. I think that's the problem eventually that FCAP has to handle, and that's why they have to slow some things down with the Frigid Glacier that they have and the rest of the setups here.
Kelra's been working. I mean, 2 turrets already taken down by the gold standard up against Super Marco, but Brusco
going to go in, gets the rage off too, and they get knocked up. Spear Destruction going to be able to find them as well. King Kong will jump back in, but there's just too much damage coming out from FCAP right now as 3 members already down, and Super Marco continues the chase as he finds King Kong. He's looking for Super Prince.
Purify.
Takes quite a bit of damage himself. He doesn't care. He goes in and picks up the Maniac. It's a wipeout. FCAP. Huge shift.
Super Mac Maniac to top things off once again. Wow. I think this is a revenge tour for Marco, because Flap TZ got his supposedly Maniac during game number 1, and this time making sure as we look at the Infinix instant replay, I have to commend Few, Captain. Look at that Frigid Glacier connecting onto 4 apart from King Kong, and Super Marco just doing Super Marco things, chasing after the Roger, chasing after the Zask. Brusco jumps in.
Brusco there, the rest of the team, they might disengage. King Kong pops the Retribution. He's looking for Super Marco. He's had enough of him and he can't get him again. Frigid Glacier gonna stop Kelra. Kelra goes in with the I'm Offended and flickers defensively, and they re-engage on top of the fight. And they're still going, but they're sustaining through everything. And FCAP finally still finding one. King Kong tries to back off. Super Prince left there versus 2 as he gets taken out.
A 2-for-1 trade for Fnatic Onic. But the main story is, the main factor is, how can we stop Super Marco? Because that was another beautiful catch from Brusco. And Few always just ready to expend those kills and make sure to save his gold laner. And mean 4-0-1. We've been talking about Kelra's dominance with the Ruby.
Yeah.
Every single time he has the Ruby, he's dominating early game. But in this case, even a late game hero, Marco's making it work 8 minutes in.
Oh, dude, I'm just still amazed. Super Marco, he's not dying. Fnatic Onic Philippines wants to get to him. They're doing everything they need to. But it's just the positioning and the amount of support and peel that Super Marco gets is what makes him so bulletproof. It's not just, you know, his amazing skills, but the fact that the team plays around him. And you see this with Fnatic Onic as well. And right now it's just FCAP inching further and further away, and now for the Lord to be the taking. Kirk's gonna jump in and they go and get it. Kyle Teasy secures the Lord.
Brusco.
Fight's gonna break out. Brusco in the front of it all. They'll find Few to take him down, but Super Fritz still waiting for the entry point here. Ogwin goes down. Few's out of the picture. A double for King Kong, and now they look for more. Super Marco and Kyle Teasy have to disengage, but it looks like King Kong wants still to put the pressure here on the jungle side. Super Marco will keep them at bay, but they want to push it down mid. The Lord making its way down the bottom for FCAP.
This is a good trade for Fnatic Onic. 3 for the price of 1 plus the Lord. I mean, Brusco again, a beautiful setup onto Few. Plus, this is where the Alpha XP lane kicks in, the sustain. He was able, but look at Kyle!
Oh, again, Spirit Destruction, you landed, and here comes Super Marco again! Turning things around when Fnatic Onic thinks they have it in the bag. But they'll get zoned out again, and Lord still up as Super Marco and Few walk with the Lord.
Prior to that clash, I thought Falcons AP Bren were they able to utilize this Lord. But with the play from Kyle, with the play from Marco, I think they're gonna demolish all the outer turrets here of Fnatic Onic. And if you're Fnatic Onic, what do you do? Because technically you're doing things right. You have the setups. Kelra has a beautiful I'm Offended place plus the Don't Run Wolf King. But how do you catch Marco?
That's the question Fnatic Onic Philippines has asked themselves, and then now at this point he picks up the Wind of Nature as well. So even if you catch him, he's got a little window now defensively. But man, Fnatic Onic Philippines down nearly 5,000 gold at this point in the game. They've got to come up with something before this next objective take, because even the last one, they had no space to work with, even with Brusco going into that fight to set things up.
We've seen it during the 3-1 trade of Fnatic Onic, wherein Falcons AP Bren got the Lord. If the Frigid Glacier doesn't connect, there's a huge chance that Fnatic Onic wins the clash. So they have to keep an eye on the kits of Few. That's the main objective. I mean, it's useless to try and lock down, but wait. It's useless to try and lock down Marco, because that's Marco. Hard to catch him off guard, hard to basically catch him.
So who do you go for?
I think it's either Few, but he has the passive, or just watch out for the Frigid Glacier, because that's the main point of attack of the Falcons AP Bren. The Frigid Glacier of Few.
That's what they have to do. There's so many boxes you have to check here for Fnatic Onic Philippines to have that favorable advantage that they're looking for. And that's why FCAP, not only playing around the economic advantage they have, but just the lineup too.
Conceal from Ogwin.
Conceal gonna go in, they're gonna go for Kelra. He has to flicker out too, they get that. Brusco engages the fight, and they're gonna fight it out once again. Super Marco still the economic advantage they have, but just the lineup too.
Conceal from Ogwin.
Conceal gonna go in. They're gonna go for Kelra. He has to flicker out too. They get that. Brusco engages the fight, and they're gonna fight it out once again. Super Marco still in the backside, just unleashing. Ogwin will get taken out though. Now Fnatic Onyx Philippines full force. Tanky enough on the front side, they'll just secure the buffs.
That's what I'm saying. Did you see Few cast the Frigid Glacier? He did, but it didn't connect to anyone. So that's the Fnatic Onyx opening. Always try to avoid that Frigid Glacier, and if you do, that's one checklist done. You can counterattack, you can counter-engage, and heads up play from Kelra for wasting the initiation of Ogwin there. Have the upper advantage here in comes of the Lord. But still, Kyle TZ is here. It's going to be a retribution battle between the two junglers.
Few waiting for the ultimate to be back up. Fnatic Onyx just going to go for it, and they fight it out. King Kong will be able to get the Lord, and now fighting it out. Flap's going to be the one to fall. Brusco gets the rage off before he gets taken out by Super Marco. When a crown going to be used, and Kyle TZ jumps in.
Marco!
He's finally taken out. It's Super Marco again. He's Super Moskov at this point. As they turn it around, it's a 2-for-3 trade, but the Lord was for Fnatic Onyx Philippines.
Well, okay, that time, they were able to catch Marco. They were able to evade the Frigid Glacier, but still, Falcons AB Bren came out on top. Although Fnatic Onyx, they got the Lord. At this point, what do you do? That's a 703 KDA. Brusco, last effort with the Tyrant's Rage, connecting onto 2, even onto Super Marco. But despite all that, Marco remains unkilled. Marco remains bulletproof.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, and look at this, Super Mac. He's the third player to get a Maniac this season. Mac 4, the first two players, Aurora, Demon Kite, and FNOP Kelra. Man, and it's all going back to it. If you're Fnatic Onyx Philippines, I almost feel like at this point, yeah, you are right here. You have to just focus on what you can get, because it seems like you're not going to immediately get to Super Marco.
Yeah, and Kirk here. Kirk, Brusco, Kelra needs to force out the Purify from Super Marco before really diving down during those clashes. I mean, one of the problems that Fnatic Onyx has was the Frigid Glacier. They're able to evade it now. A lot of times, it's not connecting anymore. Now the main problem is, how do we contain Marco? Brusco, Tyrant's Rage combination connected. Even Ogwin was able to catch him off. I mean, even Kelra was able to catch Marco off guard. But what else? Because if you can't contain Super Marco, it's basically game over for you.
I don't know. At this point, I'm sitting here scratching my head too. And part of the reason why Super Marco is so protected, like I was saying minutes ago, it's the peel factor that FCAP has. You know, even if he's in trouble, let's say, think how many defensives technically he has. At the top, you're already putting his individual skill. Then you have the Purify, and then third, you've got Wind of Nature. Fourth, you've got a Frigid Glacier.
Yeah, you also have Few, you also have Ogwin, you also have Flap.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other boxes. So it's like, if you're Fnatic Onyx, man, like, you know that's what's ahead of you. So, I don't know, I think at this point, once we get towards these later Lords, it's almost like who does Brusco end up getting the set on? Who does Kelra end up pulling? And then hoping that Super Prince and King Kong are able to find those windows of engagement without getting, like, stunned, frozen themselves.
But to King Kong's credit, he's able to do that. I mean, 615 KDA, always entering with the Lycan Pound, still unbothered even if Ogwin's there ready to cast the Ejector. And now, 3 seconds in, the second Lord up for grabs as we approach the 16-minute mark. Falcons AP Bren has a strong lead, a 4.2k gold lead. Oh, Fnatic Onyx really needs to watch out for Super Mac, to watch out for the Frigid Glacier, to watch out for Ogwin.
It's going to go in for the reset. And this is where things get very dicey for both the teams here. Because it comes down also to the both roamers, you know, both roamers on the conceals and how they want to use it, how the set is going to come from Brusco, especially that he's playing the Kufra here. And as long as they're able to get that set they're looking for, then it's that game we're talking about where it's like the chess game. You know, you got to wait, maybe bait out a couple spells, bounce spells or ultimates, and then re-engage if you have to. But FCAP, I would say, even their counter-engage is a little bit better with this lineup.
Especially, again, because of the Frigid Glacier. So right now, at this point, if you're Fnatic Onyx, do you force a clash? What do you do? Because eventually, Falcons AP Brent, they're going to split push. I mean, that's a Moskov that could enter in anytime because of the Spear of Destruction. So you're the one pressured right now. Fnatic Onyx, what do you do? Because eventually you'll have to send someone onto the top lane to deal with the minions.
That's what they're going to do. I don't know. They might actually push this Lord in here. They're going to give the signal, too. They're going to fight it out. Ogwin also jumping in. Kyle will get the Lord. There's the Spear of Destruction we were talking about. He doesn't follow it up because the objective was already secured.
Oh, he's going to push?
He's going to push that top side. It was only Flap that went down. And it looks like they get the call. You know what? Let's go ahead, get healed up, and then push in with this objective.
Well, that's a favorable trade for Falcons. AP Bren, second Lord in exchange for Flap DZ. And now Marco. Good discipline for Marco to not cast that Spear of Destruction because basically he doesn't need to. He just has to wait for the Lord because if Marco's absent for this Lord push, this might get extended to the late game. And right now, Falcons AP Bren, they can actually end this here right now. If Owen gets a pick off, if Few gets a good Frigid Glacier, Fnatic Onyx really, their backs are against the wall. Their win streak at stake here. They need a good setup from Brusco, from Kellera, from anyone just to stop the momentum of Falcons AP Bren right now.
Right now, they're just going to clear the Lord. They focus on that. That's down. They hold on to that middle turret sliver of health, but will get pushed in here. So Fnatic Onyx still backs against the wall, trying to defend the best they can. First turret of the base going down mid-side. FCAP puts their eyes set on the top. Ogwin pops the conceal. Doesn't find anything. Brusco will be able to jump in, though. Gets ejected to the backside as Flap's going to go down, and Fnatic Onyx will want to fight it out. There's the passive coming out from Few, and Fnatic turns it around. Finding 2 kills, make it 3. And now the momentum in their favor.
Oh, Fnatic Onyx going all mid here. They can actually get an inhibitor turret or might even end the game. What's the call for Falcons AP Bren? Super Marco has a Spear of Destruction. He can recall, he can enter anytime. Owen's left to fend for himself as they try to burst down the turret.
There's the Spear. They're going to keep Marco there, though. It's only Ogwin. They're trying to buy some time. Flaps up in 10, trying to clear that minion out. Still there. Fnatic Onyx, they took care of him. Marco doesn't go back, and they'll maintain the streak. Fnatic Onyx Philippines does it in the reverse sweep.
The main foundation of this super family is trust. And it took a lot of trust, a lot of faith in each and every one of them